Hi guys, I'm WW2 German, and this is the beginning of part 2 of my how to make World War II German signs, or World War II signs, specifically World War II German signs. So let's get started. So, don't know if you can see how well you're going to be able to see this, but I don't have a screen capture software, so yeah. Anyway, so you want to open up Microsoft Word. If you have Microsoft Word, I mean, this is the only way how I know how to do it, because I use Microsoft Word for all my documents. Anyway, so you want to make sure that the zoom percentage setting is on 105, which is a 1:1 scale replica of A4, as in it will be the size of a sheet of A4 paper on your screen. So yep, so you want to go into layout, page layout rather, orientation, landscape. You want this to be in A4, and then I'll tell you what to do after you've done that later. Now, first off, you're gonna need to get your piece of wood, and this is just one of the pieces of wood I've cut. And you want to decide how large the text you want is. So I'll just use a different one for an example, because it's the one that I'm going to do in this video. So it's this one, and basically I'm going to give this a clean before I paint it. But anyway, you're going to want to measure how big it is, because that's how big the actual font size is going to be. So I just got a 12-inch ruler, or 30cm ruler. So this is 8.5 centimeters, which is about 3.5 inches, something like that. Anyway, so that, I can't remember what the original one was, 8.5 centimeters. So that's 85 millimeters. So the text for that, we're going to estimate, is probably going to be about 5 centimeters high, maximum of 5.5 centimeters high. You wouldn't want it much more than that, because if you have it much more than that, then it's going to just not work. So yeah. Anyway, so then you need to get a notebook. You can do it on your computer, but I use notebooks because it's just easier than having to do it half screen. So 8.5 centimeters wide. That's hard to write and film at the same time. Anyway, so character size is going to be about 6 to 6.5 centimeters. The handwriting is being atrocious today, partially because I've got a massive pillow on my lap, which is what I'm balancing the camera on. Anyway, so that's that. And now you need to then go back to your computer, and you're going to want to go on to Insert, Shapes, Word Box, and you're going to want to draw out a Word Box. And you should really do this beforehand, but it doesn't really matter if you do it afterwards. I always forget to do this, and always go straight in with drawing my text, and then it really bugs me when I can't then get another page. Anyway, because if you go into the traditional, when insert page, insert blank page, it'll then put the work that you've done on the next page, rather than just adding one after this. Anyway, so, which is just a flaw in Microsoft Word. So you want to have there to be no shape fill, and you want there to be no shape outline. And then you're going to want to change the font size, so to whatever the size is. So mine is going to be 6 to 6.5 centimeters. I'll change that to the right size anyway, but you're going to want to first decide what you're going to have. So this sign, I want to say Adolf Hitler Platz. So I'm going to just change this to the font that I'm going to be using, which is going to be the original way. Anyway, so you're going to want to change the size. Now you're going to probably want to use a smaller ruler than this, but this is the only one I got to hand at the moment. So I'll just bring the computer closer to me so I can actually control it. So you want to have the ruler the right way up, and so 6 centimeters is what it needs to be. So about the size of the text box. So I'm going to just need to change it to say, I don't know, 70 size. Still not the right size. So you basically just keep working it out. So let's say 200, just to... Aha! Now that is almost the correct size to the size that I need. So I'm going to probably say 220, 222, let's try that. Nah, going to probably be 250 then. Anyway, so it's now 250. So that is the correct size for 6.5 centimeters. Now take a piece of wood and just, yep, that's going to be the right size. I just compared it there, and so now I've got the Adolf and the Hitler Platz. I'm just going to select them. Yeah, come on. And so you're now going to want to go on to the next page. And I always do this. I want to insert a blank page, then I want to draw your text box, then insert your text, get rid of the shape, outline, fill, whatever. Hitler. I might be able to get the Hitler Platz in all on one page, which would be good. Don't seem to have worked, or whatever. Oh, it has worked. So that is fine. So you're not going to need the bottom page, but I'm just going to leave it on there because I can. And then you're going to want to save it to whatever thing you want. Make sure you always save these, otherwise it could be an absolute bugger if your computer crashes, which I've had doing a couple of times. Not only doing this, but whilst I was in school and I lost important work, which is annoying. Anyway. So yeah, Adolf Hitler Platz. So you might want to center these, and then you're going to want to print it off, and I'll then show you what to do after that. So I've saved it as Adolf Hitler Platz sign, and now, after it's saved, we're going to need to print it off just on regular A4 paper. If you want to be one of these people that that is like wanting to do this for painting at a reenactment, then you're just going to want to, you might want to do it on coloured paper, but I mean, just for the sake of today, because I don't want to waste my lovely beige paper that I have, which I use for making documents or rations, I'm just going to use some just plain white paper. I mean, if you're just going to make something for an event, you're not actually going to be painting an event, you don't really need to bother about everything. So anyway, yep, I'll just go and get the paper. So guys, I've now printed off both pages. Here they are. So now you're going to need to cut them to size, and then glue them together. So you're going to want to leave a little bit after each of the words. Just so that you can stick the two pieces of paper together. And you're going to want to have it be pretty mean at the top. But I mean, it doesn't really matter. I just want to do that so it makes it easier for me to write. Well, not write, but you know, get the piece of stuff on the onto the, what do you call it, the sign, so, which you'll find out about soon. Sorry about the quality of this filming. It's just I've lost my camera stand, so it's virtually impossible for me to film very well. Which is the reason why partially some of the other videos I've been doing recently haven't been so good. So I have that all done. So Adolf Hitler Platz. So now that's done, you're going to need to stick them together, and sod's law, I haven't got any glue with me, so I'll be back in tick. So here I have some glues. I have just a standard Pritt stick and a Yoo-hoo glue. This is just because I'm in the UK, and they're just pretty easy to find, so what the hell. So I'm just going to give this Adolf just a little bit more of a trim, just a little bit more. In fact, cut it down to there, and so you're going to want to get rid of this crap and glue along the excess side of your word that you cut out. So there's that. So it's like that. So it looks almost just natural. So try and get it lined up correctly, just because it would be useful. If you really want to, you can take a pencil and go all lining up mad, but just this is a basic how-to video. I'm not going to go into that. So once you've done that, you should come up with something that looks like this. This might possibly be extended. I'm going to extend this just to give it a little bit more of a space. So there's meant to be a gap in the words. Actually, I'll sort that out. Now, I did find that there was a little bit of a problem here. It had a hyphen here when it shouldn't. So basically what I've done is covered it over with a piece of white paper and just made these two letters closer together. Anyway, so what you need to do now is get this and this and measure it up. I should have done this beforehand. Slightly is just a bit too big. That can easily be fixed by making the gaps between there and there shorter. So yep, I'll go and do that now. So guys, I had to make it, I'm going to just make the size of the writing a bit smaller. It just looks a bit naff that. Anyway, so yeah, I'll be back as soon as I fix that. Hi guys, so I had to do a little bit of juggling with the signs, but eventually I managed to get it to be the right size for the piece of wood that I'm going to write it on. And so that's the first one. I had to add this little dash in there for it to be correct, like some of the actual signs that I've seen of actual Adolf Hitler Platz. I'll just try and find one for you. And I'm going to have on the back of it this, and it's kind of modelled off that sign there. Don't know how well you can see that. So yeah, and now I'll explain what you need to do next. So once you've written over the back of the sign, it should look like that. So that's the Adolf Hitler Straße sign. And now you need to get painting the actual sign. So yeah. The next thing you need to do is get some white paint. I just got some white emulsion paint here. So yeah, and I'm just gonna paint that. So paint the sides, and that's you need to do that on all sides, both sides, and the edges as well. So yeah, I'm going to do a cutscene because you probably won't want to see that. So yeah, after you've done that, you should be almost ready to start doing the actual words. So once you finish painting your wood, which I've done with most of the signs that I've got, you're going to want to then